Biology class 9. Good morning students and welcome back to the video classes after a long gap. Dear students, today we'll start the syllabus for final exam and today we'll start chapter 12 skeleton movement and locomotion. So we'll start our session with chapter 12 skeleton movement and locomotion. First of all, we'll describe both the terms movement and locomotion. Movement is the movement of body parts in on its own axis, but locomotion is the change in position of the body from one point to the another point, and this is brought about by movement, and locomotion is brought about by the skeleton along with the help of muscle, because whatever the movements in our body or locomotion is actually the joint action of muscles and the bones. That's why skeleton provide movement and locomotion, but along with the help of the muscles. See, most animals are characterized by definite shape and the capacity for movement of the different parts of the body. These movements also help the animal in locomotion, that is movement from place to place. So these functions are performed by the skeleton and the muscles together. So once more, movement or locomotion is a result of joint action of muscles and the bone. Now, come to the function of the human skeleton. The animals which are larger in size have certain supportive system. In human, this support is provided by well developed skeletal system. So first of all, the function is support and shape. The skeleton provides a support or framework to all the soft parts and give the body and its part a definite shape. Imagine if you do not have a small piece of bone in your fingers, would you be able to hold a pen in your hand? No. So it provides a particular shape and protection support to the body. Second, protection. Several delicate organs like brain, heart, lungs are the most delicate and important organs of the body, and these are well protected by casing of bones. For example, the skull protects the brain, the vertebral column protects the spinal cord, and the ribs protect the heart and lungs, and so on. Clear? Now, third function, movement. Many bones are joined to each other in a manner that one bone can be moved on another. These movements are brought about by muscles which originate on one bone and are inserted on another. Third, leverage. So leverage means lever-like function. All of you have studied in physics. So levers are the simple muscle that magnify the force or the effort that you apply. So leverage. Some bones and joints form levers that increase the speed and distance of the movement by a muscle. For example, contraction of only a few centimeters by the biceps muscles, swing the hand swiftly through an arc of more than 1 feet. So this is lever-like function that magnify the speed and distance. Now finally, formation of blood cell. There are three types of blood cells: RBC, WBC, and the blood platelets. And this type of blood cells are produced in the tissue of the central hollow space or the marrow of some of the long bones such as the femur. So after certain duration, means after certain age, only the female able to produce the bone marrow cells, but initially up to 5 years of age, almost all long bones produce the blood cells. Now, these bones are also the storehouse of calcium and phosphorus for the rest of the body. Higher the deposition of the calcium and phosphorus in your bones becomes more strong. Clear? So, this is all about the functions of the bones or skeletal system. Now, come to the constituents of the skeleton. Our skeleton consists of bones, cartilage, and the ligaments. So first, see bones. Bones comprise the hard framework of the body. Means if you feel it appears too hard or strong. Cartilage are the supporting and connecting structure. For example, the cartilage supporting the projecting external ears or pinna and the tip of the nose. So one difference between the bone and cartilage is bone cannot fold but cartilage can fold or bend. And third, ligaments. Ligaments is the specialized connective tissue that binds the bones together. Clear? Now come to the classification of bones. Long bones, short bones, flat bones and the irregular. See one by one. It consists of a shaft with a knob at each end. Shaft is thick walled, tubular filled with yellow marrow end are spongy, that is bones of arms, legs and the chin. Short bones, box like spongy bones show little movement as for example ankle and wrist. Flat, composed of two or more parallel plates of compact bone enclosing spongy bone, for example shoulder blade and the skull sternum. Irregular bones, complex shape, amount of bone tissue varies, compact and sponge, the facial bones and the vertebral bone. So these are the four categories of bones depending on their shape. Now come to the bone. Now bones. Bone is the chief component of our skeleton. It consists of organic and inorganic material. The inorganic part constitutes nearly two-thirds of the entire bone structure and includes mainly the compounds of calcium and phosphorus. So calcium and phosphorus deposits are the inorganic material that provide strength to the bone. If a bone is placed in weak hydrochloric acid, the mineral part is removed from it, get dissolved, means the calcium and phosphorus will be removed and the remaining organic framework is left behind. Such bones is called decalcified. Once more, if we place a bone in a weak hydrochloric acid, then the inorganic part will be removed. Such bones are known as decalcified bones because in them only the organic components will be left. And is soft and flexible, which can even be tied into a knot. Means it concludes that calcium and phosphorus deposits in the bones provide strength to the bones. Without that, it acts like a cloth. Second, on the other hand, if a bone is strongly heated in organic matter, its organic matter is destroyed. Means when a bone is heated, it will be oxidized, and only the mineral part, that is the calcium and phosphorus, will be left, and it becomes brittle, means broken into pieces if it heated, or if organic part will be removed with ease. In all people, the organic part of the bone is reduced and the bones become more fragile, taking much time in rejoining after a fracture. So, once more, if placed in HCl, it is called decalcification, removal of inorganic component, and if it is burned, it will remove the organic component. When we are decalcified, the bones becomes soft, and if we remove organic compound, the bones becomes brittle. So we'll conclude our topic here today. In the next video, we'll discuss about the classification of bones on the basis of shape. Okay. Have a good day. Bye all of you.